Hi everyone, I'm Lauren, and today I'm going to go over some books that I hauled from the last few months. Since I've been away from Booktube and stuff, obviously I haven't kept track of what books I've hauled. I felt like I haven't hauled too much, but there's been some pretty big sales on some manga that I really wanted, so yeah, I got quite a bit past few months. I think about 40 something books. Most of them are manga or really short light novels though, so it's not like I added 40 Sandersons or something like that. I'll start off with the things I bought from Right Stuff. They had a big sale, I think in July or something like that, and they took a long time to get here because of COVID, but I got a lot of good deals on some manga. Not really any particular order. First thing I have here is Ran in the Grey World Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4, all of which by Aki Ire. I really like the first volume of this series, and I have read all of these volumes since picking them up, and they are really good. Just like a really magical, fun kid getting into trouble with these magic shoes that turn her into adult, and she gets into all sorts of mischief. And as the series goes on, there's a bigger stuff going on and bigger problems happen. It kind of ends at a cliffhanger a bit on this fourth volume, unfortunately, so I will have to get the rest of them. I think there's like 10 volumes. It's not a crazy long manga series, but it's also really, really well drawn. And so far, I'd really recommend it. I also got the omnibus versions of Negima. This is the second one. This is the third one, the third omnibus. I also got the fourth, the fifth, and also the sixth volume, all of which are by Ken Akamatsu. I have read most of this particular manga series. It's been a really long time though since I've read most of them. I read the first one recently-ish, sort of, and I really liked it. It's a pretty lighthearted magic fantasy. Like, this kid is training to be a wizard, and he has to be a teacher for this group of students, and shenanigans kind of happen. It's a pretty fun series, so I wanted to get some more of them. Then I also got a few volumes of witchcraft works. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 5, all of which are by, oh, that's hard to read. I think that's Ryu Mizunagi. It's in this really cursive font, so I can't really read it actually. But I haven't read this series yet, but I have watched the anime, and I really, really liked it. It's been a while though, but from what I remember, this guy learns about these witches, and he gets into shenanigans, and there's something special about him, and it gets him into trouble, and it's a lot of fun. I especially like the main lady love interest / companion person, because she's always saving his butt, and it's a nice change from the guy saving the gal's butt all the time. So yeah, this is a little bit of a blind purchase, but I kind of liked this anime as a kid, and that is Tokyo Mew Mew Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Tokyo Mew Mew a la mode, which I think is like a side story, I think. And these are all by Miya Ikumi. This is a very girly, magical girl transformation, kick some bad guys' butts sort of thing. Maybe find love type in the end. It's a fairly old series, I think. Not crazy old, but it's definitely not new. And nostalgia, wanted to pick these up, see if they were good. It was a nice deal. Then I got, which I may have already talked about or not. I don't think I've hauled it yet in a video, but maybe I'm wrong. But that is The Way of the House Husband Volume 1, Volume 2, which I had to get separately, so I may have hauled this one already. And Volume 3, all by Kosuke Ono. This is a very funny series about a guy who's an ex-yakuza, and he's being a house husband. So his wife goes to work, and he takes care of the home. And it's very funny because he still has some tendencies and mannerisms from the yakuza, and it just goes over the top with he misunderstands certain things, and it's just so much fun. I heard there's an anime series coming out soon, and I'm really looking forward to that too. Because if it's good, then it'll be really good. Because this is hilarious. Then the final set of manga that I got from the Right Stuff sale is some more Witch Hat Atelier. This is Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4, all by Kamome Shirahama. Another really well-drawn manga series. This one is full of these girls training to become these witches, and there's a lot of not conspiracy, but like there's some darker bad witches, wizards or whatever, in behind the scenes doing nefarious stuff, and the main character is trying to become a witch to help save her mother, who she accidentally like put in ice or a crystal or whatever, and it's so nice. It's a lot of fun, and I really like it. I wish I got more volumes though, because it's also kind of ended on a cliffhanger, so I'll get some more volumes eventually. I've already read all 3 of these as well as the first one, and I can't wait to read more. This is probably one of my favorite manga series, honestly, right now. It's really good. Also from Right Stuff, I purchased some light novels that were on sale. It looks like a lot, but page count-wise, it's not really that much. The first one I got was the first volume to An Archdemon's Dilemma: How to Love Your Elf Bride by Fuminori Teshima. I don't know too much about it, but I think this is kind of a comedic romance with this archdemon wizardy guy who gets a elf girl as a slave, but he falls in love with her but doesn't know how to talk with people very much, and she's trying to understand him better or something like that. It could be a little problematic because of the whole, like, he's the master technically and she's a slave, but I read a bit of it and it seemed kind of funny and good, so we'll see. I only bought 1 volume because I wasn't sure, but it's so short. And the last set of light novels and the last set of stuff that I got from Right Stuff. I did buy some animes, but I'm only showing the books. And I got nearly the full series of If It's For My Daughter, I'd Even Defeat a Demon Lord. This is Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 8, all by Chirolu. This is a series about a guy who finds a lost, like, abandoned demon girl. There's really not much differentiating like demons and humans other than like they have horns, so it's not like a scary demon. And he decides to raise her as his daughter because her parents are all dead and she can't go back to where she came from. I don't know exactly what happens in the middle, but I assume they get into troubles and shenanigans and all that sorts of stuff. There is 1 more volume after this, but it is, I think, side stories. I didn't get it just because it wasn't on sale and all these other ones were, but if I like these, then I'll obviously get that as well. It looks like a lot of books, but these are very thin. Most of them are less than 200 pages, so I could probably finish, these in like a day each, or maybe a few in a day. So looks like a lot, but I can hold them all in my hand. It's not really that much, but I am looking forward to reading these. So those are all the light novels and manga. Now I also bought some books. Actually, most of them were gifts from my husband. We were celebrating our 9 years together as a couple, and so normally we go out and go book shopping and game shopping and get some ice cream and just kind of walk around and have a chill time. But obviously with COVID, it is not a very safe idea to go out mulling about. And neither of us felt comfortable going out. So we were just like, let's get some books to sell to just at home. Unfortunately not as satisfying as going out, but what are you gonna do? Before I get into those, I actually also bought a digital version of Ascendance of a Bookworm, Part 3, Volume 2, I think it is, by Mia Kazuki. I already read it and I really like it, but I'll talk about that later. But anyways, getting into the books that he purchased for me, he got, I think 10 books, and I just picked out a few, and he's like, yeah, good, go ahead. First one I'll talk about, really brief, is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book, right? This is the third book in the Stormlight Archive series. I really want to continue with it. He also really wants me to continue with the series. He's already read this and really liked it, so he's excited for me to continue. So I'm excited to continue too. There's just a lot on my docket right now. This one was a little bit of a blind purchase, sort of, but it seemed interesting, and I do want to read from more diverse authors. I'm not particularly good about that, partially because I'm trying to finish series that I've already started, and since I didn't start trying to be more diverse, the series that I'm reading are not diverse. So since I'm trying to finish them, it's a whole lot of not diverse stuff. So that's part of it. And part of it is just I'm not very good at finding stuff either. But I try, and I randomly found this. The premise seemed kind of interesting. And that is Star Daughter by Shveta Tharkar. I don't know how to pronounce that. I probably really butchered that. I'm sorry. But this, I think, is Indian-based. And it's something to do, I think, with the main character being part star, and she has to go, she tries to hide that, I think, and then she tries to save somebody. Yeah, so she's trying to not be in the sky doing stuff. She wants to be a normal person, but something happens and she has to go up and shenanigans, I guess. But I don't really know much about it. It seemed kind of interesting, and hopefully it's good. It's also really nice and shiny. The cover's really nice, and just get that closer maybe. Yeah, I really like this cover. So doubly makes me want to hope, makes me hope that it's good. Next one, this seems kind of random for me, but I have been interested in picking this up and reading it because I read a preview of it and it was really good. And that is My Man Jeeves by P.G. Woodhouse. This is, I think this one is a bunch of short stories with this butler, Jeeves, and I don't remember the name of the other characters, but Jeeves is kind of like he's like the smart butler and kind of slowly nudges people to not do stupid stuff. I don't remember. It's funny from what I read of the preview, and I wanted to read more of it. Seemed interesting. I don't read very much of this kind of thing. I don't know what genre this is. Historical, or is it contemporary? I don't know. But I wanted it, so I got it. This is another kind of slightly random, but not really. I don't know. That is Moon of the Crusted Snow by Warbshing Rice. Again, I'm terrible with names, sorry. This was a book that I remember, what's her name? Kalinati, I think. She talked about this, and it wasn't like a 5-star read, I think, for her. I think it was a 4. But when she was talking about it, it seemed really, really interesting, and I kind of wanted to read it. I think it's a small town, gets kind of snowed in, they lose contact with the outside world, and they start running out of supplies and not hearing from anybody for a long time, and so they're like, what's going on? And they're trying to survive, and it seemed kind of interesting. So I really am excited to read this. I just wish my TBR was nice and let me read this, but this is definitely one that I'm going to read really soon, especially since it's not that long. It's only 200 some pages. Something that I found out after getting it as well, which is kind of bonus, awesome, nice, is that apparently the author is for Canadian First Nations. I think in America you say Native American. I'm Canadian, so that's like, oh, that's neat, because I don't actually know too many Canadian authors. I mean, I know of Erickson with Malazan, but I'm not interested in Malazan. So I'm like, ooh, I hope this is good, because then I have another author on my docket and that I like. So I hope it's good. I hope all of them are good. Next one, I got The Martian by Andy Weir. This is another kind of stranded one, isn't it? But this one is Mars. I think it's Mars. I don't remember. A lot of people really like this, and it seemed to be interesting. I'm terrible at remembering things off of descriptions, but that's okay. I will know what it is when I read it. So I want to get into more sci-fi as well, and this seemed like a pretty good one. So yeah, get it. Yum. This was another kind of random one, and this is Death by Shakespeare, Snake Bites, Stabbings, and Broken Hearts by Catherine Harkup. This is from what I understand, the author looks at various deaths in Shakespeare's plays and discusses how accurate they are in real life. Like, I mean, it doesn't need to be accurate necessarily in stories, but this is just for like science sake, I think, is the idea. Although something I realized that after getting it is that I actually haven't read too many Shakespeare things. I want to read more Shakespeare, but I haven't read too many, so maybe I should read a few more before reading this. But yeah, I'll figure that out at some point. I need to get more Shakespeare first before I can read it, really. The next few that he got for me are I probably shouldn't be starting more series yet. I want to read these series, so what am I doing? I don't know. I have no control over what I want to read. I want to read everything. But this particular one, A Winter's Promise by, where is it? Christelle Doubles. I think it's translated from French and something to do with these floating cities, and I think main character is sent there. I don't know. It sounded interesting. A lot of people were saying it was pretty good. I want to try out more translated stuff that is not a light novel, because I read a lot of light novels, but not much outside of that is in translation stuff. So yeah, picked up. Also really nice cover. I really like it. Then I got 12 Kings of Jarkai by Bradley P. Bolio. Another first in a big series. Something in Arabia. I don't remember. People were saying it was good. I forgot what the plot was about, but when I read it, it sounded good. Something secrets and discovers things, and the setting is really cool. I read the synopsis earlier and it sounded good, so that's good enough for me. Doesn't matter if I don't remember it at all. This sounded good, so yeah. This one probably doesn't need much introduction, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, the first book in the Farseer trilogy, I think. Robin Hobb is well loved. I have not read anything by her yet, so I wanted to try it out. Don't know much about it because it's so well known that I get worried about spoilers. So I have no idea what it's about, really. But people keep recommending it, and so I want to try reading it. This also has some illustrations in here too, but where are they? I don't know. There's one. So like, here's an illustration. Wow. This hardcover is pretty nice too. Normally you can only get like mass markets of this, and I hate mass markets, so it's like, yeah. And then the last book that I hauled in the past few months is a new one, and that is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. I don't remember what this one was about as well. But it sounded cool. People are really liking it now as well, so bonus points there. I think this is kind of Chinese inspired, but don't quote me on that. I'm just judging from the names of things in here. But this is a new series. I don't remember if this is a debut or not for the author, but I am interested from what I don't at all remember from the synopsis. Yeah, but I hope it's good. Anyway, those are all the books that I picked up in the past few months. I am not picking those all up because I cannot pick up all these. I can pick up this many, and this is already too heavy. This is like, I can't count, 6 books, and this is already too heavy for me. So I am not picking up all 40-something books. But anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts about any of these books that I pick up. Feel free to let me know if you're particularly excited for me to read any one. Or maybe you don't want me to read some of them. Too bad I'm reading all of these. Probably, at some point. And let me know if you picked up any cool books recently as well. I'd like to know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye!